Yo, what's good, boys? It's your boy Splashy, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how you can find your perfect keybinds and sensitivity for keyboard and mouse. Not only am I going to be talking about how to find your perfect keybinds and sensitivity, but I'm also going to help you guys find how to press the keybinds, which is something not a lot of people talk about. And what I mean by how you should press them is that you have 5 fingers on your hand, and you guys are probably pressing a lot of your binds with the wrong finger, and that's mainly the reason you're not improving as fast as you should be. If you're someone who's new to keyboard, who has played for a couple weeks, a couple months, maybe even a couple of years, and you've not seen those improvements that you want to see, right, and you feel like you're far behind, then this video is perfect for you. I'm going to be explaining everything, and you guys are going to get a clear mind on why you haven't improved as fast as you should have been. All I ask in return, boys, is that you guys press on the like button of this video and subscribe with notifications turned on. I only have 300 subs who have the notice turned on, so it will be greatly appreciated if you guys turn the notice on. And if you guys want to see more content of me, I recommend you guys watching my main channel where I do content for controller, but it's still very good content, so if anybody wants to watch that, the link will be in the description. And also, I'm going to be streaming on TikTok every day. Link to that is in the description. It's mostly going to be controller content, but if you guys want to just watch me more, that will be in the description. And lastly, if you guys want to support me even further, the best way to support me is by using my code YOSPLASHY in Fortnite Iron Shop, boys. This helps me out more than you know. And yeah, boys, let's get right into the video. First thing we're going to be talking about, boys, is how you can find your perfect sensitivity. Now, in my opinion, sensitivity is the most important aspect of keyboard and mouse. And when I changed my sensitivity a couple of days ago, I saw huge improvements because I realized why I wasn't improving as much. And the main reason is this, boys. How many watching this video have copied any pros Fortnite, sensitivity or settings? Nearly 99% of people watching this video are gonna raise their hand and be like, yeah, I copied Cooper, Cold, Peterbot, whoever it may be. I copied their sensitivity, right? And I copied Peterbot's sensitivity, but I switched it up a little bit to my own liking at the time. But I was never as fast as Peter, and I was never as snappy or as smooth, and I always wondered why. Now, the main reason we aren't as fast as them or move like them is because the difference between controller and keyboard is extremely high, and I'm gonna explain why. On controller, you move just your 2 joysticks, right? So if you copy somebody's settings, it's gonna be pretty, similar how you guys move your thumb, right? That's just because the joystick is so small. However, on keyboard, when you have the whole mouse and the entire right side of the desk to you, there's different types of grips. People use their entire palms, entire arm. People move fast with their arm, people move slower, so it's very difficult to copy somebody else's sensitivity and say, okay, I'm gonna be as good as them or as fast as them. And when I realized this, I was like, let me watch a hand cam video of Peterbot. And when I did, I saw that his hand, and Cooper too especially, they move their arms so fast on their desk, and I just cannot do that. I'm just not used to it. I'm not gonna get used to it. I don't want to move my hand that fast. So what I did instead, I bumped up my sensitivity, which is a little bit risky, I would say, on keyboard, because a lot of pros don't use high sensitivity, but I did raise mine, and instantly, like without a doubt, boom, instantly I became way better. So if you're watching this and you feel like your sensitivity isn't too fast or good, and you've copied somebody else's, and you don't move your arm that fast with your mouse, you should definitely tweak your sense up, in my opinion. To those who wonder what my sensitivity is right now, it's 7.8% on Y and X, and it used to be 6.4, which is exactly what Peterbot uses. Now, Peterbot doesn't use double movement, however, I do, because I feel like double movement does make a huge difference, and I want to get used to it more, so that's what I'm using. And for my DPI, I use 800. I recommend everybody watching this video using 800 DPI, because on average, 800 DPI is the best and most consistent DPI in the game. So if you've copied a pro's sensitivity and you feel like their sense is very slow and it's not working for you, but you're still trying your best to improve with it, the likelihood of you not moving your hand as fast as them is extremely high. So what I would recommend you doing is just bumping up your sensitivity slowly until you find the right spot, which is what I did in order to find 7.8% being my perfect sense. And don't forget, boys, don't be scared to raise your sensitivity. A lot of people are scared, that they're gonna start missing their shots and all that, crap. No, I don't miss my shots at all. I have better aim now because I don't move my arm as fast as these pro players. So now my movement and everything is just way better for me. Now, when it comes to finding out your perfect binds, you just have to be a little bit logical. It's not that difficult, it's very easy. So for me, I'm somebody that loves to fight and build. So when I switch over to my pump, I instantly want to access it, right? And I can see that on my A bind, which is my left movement bind, I rarely lift that finger up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift it up to Q, and I'm gonna place my pump there. And that's such easy logic, and a lot of people have their pump on or pickaxe on Q, I would recommend pump because pickaxe is not as important as your pump. So what I did, I made sure that I can literally build and switch between my pump in an instant. So you need to prioritize the important binds, boys. Don't prioritize, you know, pickaxe because it looks cool when you edit. Well, it doesn't even do that anymore. So just be logical, boys. And I'm gonna give you guys another example. Whenever you shoot someone in Fortnite, right, and you try to eliminate them, right, you always switch back to your spray weapon automatically. This is just something that people do, players do, right? So if you ever see your favorite pro knocking someone in game, right, they instantly switch to their weapon ready to fire in case the enemy hasn't been finished. Now we cannot switch with our same, you know, finger from Q to spray because that would just tire out the finger. So what do instead? We use a different finger for a certain bind, which is the spray bind. So for me, I use 4, which is with my index finger. I press index finger with 4. I just lift it up from D to 4. And also, in case you guys don't know, 4 is also very close to F. So I use F for my edit. So in case I literally have to, you know, shoot, spray, reset, and then edit again, all of the binds that I'm using are very close. They're like in a circle close to each other. So I have Q for pump, and then I have 4 for the spray, and then I have F, which is very close to 4, that I can just reset, and I can access all these binds because they're extremely close to each other and they're extremely close to my fingers. Now 99% of you guys are using your bottom tier binds wrong. So all binds between X to M on your keyboard, which means X, C, V, B, N, and M, all those binds are being used wrong by you guys. And I have to be honest here, a lot of you guys think I press C with my index finger, which is just ridiculous to me, but I know that the average Fortnite player doesn't really know much about improving that fast. So I'm gonna explain to you guys what I'm doing. So I'm pressing C, which is my, you know, cone bind, with my thumb. Now that may surprise a lot of y'all boys, and you guys might be like, what? That makes no sense. How can you jump and press cones? And it's fairly easy, boys. Every pro that is good at this game uses their bottom tier binds with their thumb, unless they're an OG player. Most OG players, you know, from chapter 1 that have been playing keyboard since day 1 don't know about this. And my perfect example of somebody that utilizes their thumb the best is Cooper. Cooper is the best mechanical player in my opinion in Fortnite ever, and I think he has the best mechanics and the most consistent and fastest mechanics. And people always say, how is Cooper way ahead of everyone else? It's because he's one of the only people that uses the edit with his thumb. So in case you guys didn't know, Cooper edits with V and he uses his thumb on the bind. So he edits with V and then just jumps with the spacebar. He just switches back and forth. Now if you guys put your hand and all your keys naturally on your arm, right, your thumb is naturally gonna be resting on the bottom tier binds. So naturally your thumb is gonna be between X, C, V, and B very naturally. So when you guys are switching between those binds, it's very simple. So what I would recommend you guys doing is this. If you guys are using any of the bottom tier binds with your index finger, I would highly suggest switching them up with your thumb. Now this is gonna take a long time to get used to, but you're gonna improve so much when you get used to using your thumb with the lower tier binds. That is gonna be literally incredible. Like the difference is gonna be huge once you get used to it. Now I don't use just C with my thumb. I also use V, which is crouch. Yes, I crouch with my thumb, so it's very easy for me to, you know, jump and then crouch, you know, so I can slide, which I always do in fights. It's very easy for me because I've gotten used to it. But remember this, boys, I might be good on keyboard for 4 months, but trust me, one of the things I struggled with the most was getting used to pressing the bottom binds with my thumb. But when I did get used to it, my movement became so much better because I utilized my 3 other fingers on my movement sticks whilst pressing the cone, right? So I can literally move left, right, forward, back, everything, right? And press cones, which makes my fighting a lot better. So utilize your bottom binds, find out what you want to press, and then just utilize them. So an example would be placing your cone at C or placing your floor instead at C, which I would recommend too. Now if you want to take your game to the next level and you're already not doing this, you need a mouse with 2 buttons on it. You need to have this, boys. I'm telling you guys right now, if you have a mouse with no buttons, you're limiting your progression so much. And I always tell people this, a $10 mouse, literally $10, boys, with 2 buttons is better than a mouse that costs $10,000 that has no side buttons. It's so important to utilize a mouse with side buttons. Like for example with mine, I have my upper or my left side of my, you know, mouse button as walls, and the right one as my ramp. So literally, just by moving up, I can do this just with simple presses from my thumb, right? This is so easy. And then, you know, I use my floor and I can create all these things. And now a lot of people watching this video will not even be able to do this successfully because they're not utilizing their binds correctly. So I'm just trying to teach you guys. You need a mouse with side buttons. It's just that simple. And you can find very cheap ones for $10, $20. And they don't have to be, you know, wireless or wired. Like, it doesn't even matter. Just make sure you have a mouse with side buttons. So for my movement binds, I use my index finger, my middle finger, and my ring finger. And I rest them on W, A, and D all the time, and I press backwards with my middle finger. When it comes to sprint, I use my pinky finger. On crouch, I use V, and that is my thumb. I press on it with my thumb, so I switch between jump and V quite often. When it comes to reload, I just press my index finger. When it comes to use, I use my right index finger on my, you know, scroll wheel, which I need to get used to using my middle finger, but I'm not used to that yet. So I right now use my index finger. Pickaxe, I press with my ring finger. Q, I press it also with my ring finger. And the reason I do this, boys, is that because I don't switch between pickaxe and pump ever. You know, if I'm pickaxing a wall, I'm gonna be bringing out my build and then going to my pump. So it's not, you know, it's not an instant switch. Weapon slot 2 is E. Usually I carry a sniper here, but we don't have snipers, so right now I just carry movement items here, and I press this with my index finger. Weapon slot number 2, I usually press with my middle finger, and then same goes for weapon slot number 3. And then for weapon slot number 4, I press on my index finger, and for this one I use a spray weapon, so it's very easy for me to access my spray weapon. Now we're coming into the building binds, which is what most of you guys want to watch. Alright, so let's get right into it. So wall, it says number 5 here. So this means it's my left button on my mouse, and I use the Logitech G Pro X Superlight 2, which I got sent from Logitech, so shout out to them. I will leave that in the description too. So I use my left button on my mouse for wall. Floor shift, and I press it with my pinky finger too. And you need to have a very snappy pinky finger. You need to really improve your pinky finger to use floor with shift, otherwise sometimes your floor won't place. Stair is my right side button on my mouse. Roof, C, and which is you know, pyramid, and I use C and I press it with my thumb, which is how I can have such fluid and smooth movement, and how I'm so good at piece controlling already. I don't have a trap bind yet, which is kind of weird, so I'm just gonna place one right now. So I'm gonna use T. I literally just use T. It's very logical for me to use T as trap. So repair building H, I press usually my thumb or my index finger with this one. I rarely use repair though. I rarely use this. Rotate, I never use this. Change building material, I use M, which I press with my thumb. It's very far away, so I'm gonna switch this up very soon too. Building edit, I use F. So, you know, F is basically just, you know, my edit bind. So I use that with my index finger because it's very close to my movement bind, and that's how I edit so fast. Now reset, I use scroll wheel. Now it's very important that you guys put your scroll wheel on reset and also down here on building edit. Now this is gonna make sure that your resetting doesn't require a confirm, right? So as soon as you reset, you will instantly reset without confirming. So if you're somebody that doesn't like to use error on release, but you still want to reset instantly, you need to have this bind both here and here. So that's a secret tip that I just gave y'all, boys, and something that 99% of people don't say. And select building editors right here. Select building edit here, this right one. I'm gonna explain this one just in a second. Communication is not important. Emote H, I just press my thumb, I guess. I don't think there's anything else important, boys. All this, I'm just gonna go over it quickly so you guys can copy my binds, but there's nothing in here that is important. I'm scrolling right here. You can pause if you want to or slow down the video, but that is all irrelevant. So the key points here, boys, I'm gonna go over my key points very quickly. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to C, which I press with my thumb. So every bind between X and M on your keyboard, press them with your thumb. Get used to this, boys, trust me. If you guys made it this far into the video, make sure you guys comment GOAT, and I'm gonna be looking at every comment that comments GOAT, so I know you guys are real ones. And if you really made it this far into the video, boys, please like and subscribe and turn the notification bell on, because if you guys were able to make it this far into the video, I would love for you guys to join my Noti gang and be, you know, long-term subscribers to this channel, because I'm gonna grow this channel to hopefully, you know, 100,000 subscribers soon. But yeah, boys, if you guys want to use my 1v1 map, the code is on the screen, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.